Serinda here, holistic life coach and counsellor, helping you to bring peace and balance back into your life. Now in this video I'd like to talk about an emotion that plagues a lot of people, that of guilt. Guilt's a really oppressive emotion, destroys a person's happiness and disturbs their inner peace. And I see a lot of this emotion in my client work, with people constantly telling me that they feel guilty about this, that or the other. Are you one of those people? Do you carry a lot of guilt around with you? If so, then did you know that it doesn't have to be that way? You can free yourself of this debilitating energy, and you do it by self-reflection, self-inquiry and self-challenge. Now, in my experience of working with hundreds of people over the years, I see two types of guilt. There's what I call real guilt, and there's conditioned guilt. Now, real guilt is a healthy, welcome energy. We don't want to get rid of this guilt because it's the genuine voice of your conscience. When you've done something wrong, violated some universal law, this feeling comes up to alert you to the fact. It's like your soul saying, "Oi, what the hell are you doing? That was not the right thing to do." Now, I believe all our emotions carry powerful signals from deep within. Now, guilt is the one that keeps us on the straight and narrow. For example, if you've cheated, lied or hurt someone in some way, then if you're a balanced human being, you're probably going to be plagued by this niggly feeling that you've done something that you know you shouldn't have. Now, your mind may not want to accept it, but some higher part of you will use guilt as a way of constantly reminding you and inviting you to sort things out, take responsibility, make amends, own up, apologize, do something to redress the situation, and importantly, learn a lesson and never do that thing again. Now, in my experience, this kind of guilt is rare. Now, without exception, the people I have the honour of working with are good, honest, decent human beings who don't go around violating the laws of the universe. The guilt I see more of is what I call conditioned guilt. Now, in my eyes, this is not the very productive guilt. This is the type of guilt that needs to be identified, challenged, and dismissed. This guilt is not the pure voice of your soul. This is the voice of your parents, your family, your culture, and even society as a whole. This guilt is a tool of social control, and in a very subtle way, it's designed to control and manipulate you into doing what other people want you to do. Now, as kids, we've all been given very clear instructions on how we should be and how we should behave. Now, some of us were explicitly taught these rules of behaviour, whilst others have picked them up implicitly through observation. Now, we picked up the message loud and clear: if you want love and acceptance from your family and community, then you should behave in a certain way. Now, note the word should in this sentence, it's important. That's all well and good to abide by these rules, except for two things. Now, firstly, this idealised version of yourself is so perfect that you can never live up to these standards of behaviour, no matter how hard you try, because you're human. Now, we can't be perfect all the time. We can't always be doing exactly the right thing by everyone all of the time. The bar is set way too high. And secondly, you're being set up to experience deep internal conflict between your real self, what you really want to do if you were left to your own devices, and your ideal self, what other people have conditioned or trained you to do. Now, it's this conflict that creates conditioned guilt. When we can't quite live up to these conditions, we feel bad about ourselves. The fact that the word should shows up in your thoughts alerts you to this conflict. Your real self doesn't want to do something, but your conditioned self is telling you that you should. And if you don't, you begin to feel bad. Now, the next time you feel guilty, do the following. Number one, notice and acknowledge the feeling. I'm feeling guilty. This is interesting. What's going on here? Notice where the feeling is in your body. And number two, ask yourself, is this real guilt? Have I violated some universal law? Is this the voice of my conscience? Has my ego really done something so dreadful that my soul has had to step in? Or number three, is this conditioned guilt, intra-conflict between what you really want to do and what you think you should be doing? Now, if it's real guilt, then pay attention, do something to sort the situation out in some way. And if nothing else, learn from the mistake and vouch never to do it again. That's all your soul ever wanted by bringing up the guilt. Then let it go. The guilt's done its job. It was never meant to be carried around like a heavy burden for the rest of your life. It was merely an alert mechanism. It was there to draw your attention to a transgression, and that's all. Now, if it's conditioned guilt, then step back into your power and see through the control and manipulation. The simple fact that there's a should in the mix is a clear sign that your real self doesn't really want to do whatever it is you're being asked to do. Otherwise, you'd just happily do it. Ask yourself if you're being subtly coerced into doing things that other people want you to do because it serves them and not you. Now, in an earlier video, which you'll find on my YouTube channel, I've covered a very simple but powerful way in which to deal with this kind of conditioned guilt. This video is called, Is It Time to Stop Shoulding on Yourself? Head on over and watch it. It's only 4.5 minutes long, and it will help you step back into your power, make balanced decisions which take your needs into account, as well as the needs and wishes of the people around you. And most importantly, it will help you reprogram your thoughts so that you can eliminate this unnecessary kind of guilt. Now, there's little in life more precious than inner peace. It's worth spending a few moments reflecting on and transmuting anything that disturbs your inner world and stops you enjoying the experience of life. Conditioned guilt is definitely one of those things. Okay, that's it for now. I hope this has been useful in some way, and if it has, then don't forget to press the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss any future episodes. And remember, take great care of yourself, because you and I both know that if you don't, no one else will. Okay, I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye for now.